how to rise to the top and get there. 6 steps rising to the top, 6 steps finding success and getting there. That is our topic for the day, and we're going to be focusing on a certain young man called Joseph. We are deriving our text from the book of Genesis from chapter 39 onwards, all the way to a bit of Exodus. So, welcome to this channel as we discuss Joseph.
Who is this Joseph?
Joseph is the son to Jacob. Jacob has 12 sons, and the second youngest, is Joseph. He's sold into slavery by his brothers when he's only 17 years of age, sold into slavery. Then he finds himself in Egypt in the household of Potiphar.
Sold into slavery?
Yes, his brothers sell him into slavery, and he's taken to live in Potiphar's household as a slave boy in Egypt. So while at the Potiphar's household, he begins to show this character that will bring him to the top eventually. And the first thing we see with him is the way he works. He works extraordinary. He works in such a way that Potiphar is so pleased with him, and Potiphar relinquishes to him everything, so that all the business that happens in Potiphar's house, he's the doer of it. In the house and in the field, he's the doer of it. So
He's the doer of it.
Yes, he's the doer of it. He's left in charge of the field, he's left in charge of the house, and Potiphar realizes that every time you leave Joseph in charge of something, you actually find that you're enjoying prosperity of another level that you've never enjoyed before. So we are saying working in an extraordinary way. Then he's thrown into prison, and while in prison, the warden of the prisoners gives him charge over all the prisoners. Why? Because he has also realized the same thing, that when Joseph is doing something, he'll do it to his best, and you experience prosperity, so he doesn't worry at all. Potiphar says that I've reached a place where I don't even worry about anything at all about my businesses. The only thing I worry about is the food that comes into my system. That is the only thing that I think of, that I concern myself with, because Joseph works in an extraordinary way. Guess what is the second key to success? Can you guess? The first we've already said is working in an extraordinary way. Which is the second?
Thinking.
Integrity. He has integrity of an extraordinary level, to the extent that when Potiphar says, I've left him to handle everything, my business, in the house, in the field, he knows that Joseph has integrity 100%, nothing will be lost. Not even a single coin goes missing when Joseph is in charge. So that is the second key, integrity. He works with an integrity of an extraordinary level. Then he thinks deeply. Thinking deeply, we see this when he is summoned by Pharaoh. When Pharaoh is saying, I've had a dream and I don't know what the dream means. And he says, I'll tell you what the dream means. We're going to have 5 years of plenty, 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. And we need this one person who knows how to store the food, so that the food during the years of plenty can be enough for the food during the years of famine. And Pharaoh says, then you're the man for the job. Gives the man the job. So we are saying things in an extraordinary way. And the other key is he presents his plan, he presents his proposal in an extraordinary fashion that impresses the Pharaoh. And Pharaoh says, then you're the person for the job. If you already know what to do, you already knew the problem, and now you know the solution, and you know all about how to store the food. You've already come up with an idea that makes sense, how you're going to feed the entire world. Because at the end of the day, it ended up to be that the entire world needed food, and they found food at the Pharaoh's empire in Egypt. So he developed a plan, he developed a proposal, presented it before the king, and the proposal was of an extraordinary level. The other key, which is executing that plan. Executing the plan. How do you execute the plan? For Joseph, it was easy. He said, I'll build storehouses all over the land of Egypt, to which I will store the food, and that food will be enough for the 7 years of famine. It reached a place where Jacob himself was telling his sons, now go to Egypt. I've heard that there is food in Egypt. I've heard there is food. Go and buy food, otherwise we may die. we may die of famine, we may die of hunger. Jacob tells his sons. So the sons make a trip to Egypt, the first time, the second time, the third time, and then the third time Joseph shows the brothers, I am your brother, the one you sold into captivity. And what you meant for bad, God has turned it around for good. So he executes his plan in an extraordinary way. So we come to the sixth key. Which is the sixth key? We are talking about maintaining the standards, maintaining the standards, maintaining the standards. You've already shown that you know how to work in an excellent way, in an extraordinary way. Don't change that. Continue like that. Joseph never changed. He continued like that. You've already shown that you have integrity 100%. Don't change that. Continue like that. Maintain that standard. Maintain that standard. You've already shown that you think deeply. Don't change that. That you think in an extraordinary way. Don't change that. You've already shown that you've already presented your proposal, and it is an extraordinary proposal with the beautiful beautiful expected results. Don't change that. Maintain that. Maintain the standard. You've already executed your plan to feed the whole world for 7 years of famine. The whole world now comes to Egypt to buy food from Joseph, and is the executor of this plan. Maintaining the standards, maintaining the standards, maintaining the standards. So how do you rise to the top? We are looking at Joseph, emulating Joseph and saying, number one, work in an extraordinary way. Number two, have integrity of an extraordinary level. Number three, think deeply, think in an extraordinary way. Number four, present your plan or present your proposal to the person on top or to the board or to whoever it is in an extraordinary way that fascinates the person who's listening, that fascinates the board. Number five, we are saying execute your plan in an extraordinary way. And then number six, maintain those standards. Maintain those standards. Thank you very much for listening to me, and welcome as we rise to the top. Welcome to the world at the top. How to get to the top and how to stay there. I've given you 6 golden keys to rise to the top and to stick there.